All right, we're being recorded, so look your best, right? All right, so we're going to start today in crocodile pose. Lie on your belly. We're going to use today to really just focus on our breath. So we're going to do a breath practice somewhere in the practice. So just be aware of that. But we're just trying to always make our breath the leader of our practice. So that's your job today. When you're holding poses, when you're moving through poses, when whatever time that is, when you're that transition, when you're at rest, you want to focus on your breathing. So we know that our breathing is always in through the nose, out through the nose. Breathing diaphragmatically, right? So we're trying to feel the rise and fall of the belly, not so much the rise and fall of the shoulders and the chest, right? We just want to kind of focus on feeling the movement at the abdomen, knowing that our diaphragm is working there. So just rest your forehead on your forearms, adjust your legs so that they're comfortable, create some length and space in the back of your neck. Just close your eyes. Start to become mindful of your breathing. Let it find its own natural flow. Then start to notice the quality of that breath, the quality of your nostrils, the quality of the lungs. Give yourself a body scan, head to feet. Notice any areas that are drawing your attention to them. That's in your physical body, your muscles, your joints, your bones, your energy level. And finally, your mind. The quality of your thoughts, your emotions. Just notice the subtle sensations in all of these areas, the vibrations under the skin, so that you can arrive at this moment in time. And now that you feel present in the moment, you can allow your breath to take care of those areas that could benefit from some attention from your breathing. After taking care of yourself, begin to move into your controlled yoga breathing. Inhaling more deeply, exhale completely. Allow that deep breath to become even and smooth. Remember, this is the breath you want to stay with through your practice today. Use it to benefit you as you hold poses, Use it to benefit you, to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system at rest. Use it to guide you through any kinds of flows or transitions that we move through. Now let's begin to bring some movement to the body. So just bend your knees. Start to point and flex your feet. Circle your ankles a little bit. Just get waking up the ankles, the feet, the low body. Get those cracks and kinks out. And then start to windshield wiper your legs side to side. Just feet to one side, then the other. Just waking up the low body. Working through any stiffness or tightness. Then we'll take the legs back to center, lie them down, plant your hands right alongside your chest. We're going to press ourselves back and send the sit bones back to a child's pose. Reaching back, knees together to start today. Walking the fingers forward, create some length and space, soften your head. And then we'll press our hands back up, walk them back, and come onto your seat. So we're going to take a seated cross-leg pose if that's accessible to you. If not, make your adjustments, straightening out the legs, using a chair, whatever you need. If you're sitting on the floor, you can sit on a block. We are going to be doing some seated stretches after we center. So we're going to take a moment here, pressing into the sit bones on your block, your pillow, whatever it is, it's going to elevate those hips a little bit. Grow the spine out of the pelvis, shoulders, take them down and back. Rest your hands somewhere on your thighs. Be sure that you have some core engagement here so we're not slouched. We want to be lengthened. We're going to go right into our breath practice today to start. So we're going to do a 4x4x4 breath. We're going to do this at the beginning of class, and then we're going to do it when we're lying in Shavasana. So take a moment here on your inhale. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to your natural breathing. Give yourself a moment. And then we'll drop the chin to the chest. Let the head hang, stretching out the back of the neck. Then just slowly take your chin over toward the right shoulder, up and over, down through center, over to the left. Continue to move here with your own breath. Exhale through center, inhale to the shoulder. Exhale through center, inhale to the shoulder. One more each side. Once you return to center, you can slide off your block. If you need to wiggle your legs at any time, go ahead and do that, or switch the leg that's in front, straighten one out, go ahead and do that. We're going to rest our hands here on the front of our knees. We're going to work through almost a cat-cow movement, right? So we're getting in, drawing the navel in and up, right? So we're pulling in and up, being strong in the core, and then we're going to press the chest up and forward. So we're going to use our hands as leverage here. So on your next exhale breath, let's draw the navel in toward the spine. See if you can draw in and up through the pelvic floor. Tuck your chin slightly. You're pulling on those knees a bit so that you can stretch out through your upper back. And then inhale, press into those knees. See if you can lift your chest up. Nice. On your exhale, back to that rounding, drawing in and up. Inhale, rise. Lift the chest. Beautiful. Continue to move with your own pace, your own breath. Now, the next time you're rounded, let's hold it here. Breathe deep. See if you can breathe under those contracted muscles, behind them. Make your lungs fill big. And lift the chest and hold. Still breathing deep. Focus on the breath. Return to neutral spine. Let's clasp the hands, index fingers pointing out. I want you to press them forward toward the front of the room. So we're still not slouching, right? We're still nice and tall, pressing forward. Then let's just rotate those arms to the right. So you're just sort of rotating the wrists, pressing forward. And then through center, left, right. So they're always pointing forward. You're just rotating the wrist. So I'll do it forward, see? So it's a very small movement. Stay strong in your core. And release. Let's take some shoulder rolls. And then the other way. Now we're going to work at rotation in the spine, right? So we're going to take the right hand behind. I want you to press into that hand. See if you can lengthen the spine, make it long, right? So we're breathing up through the center body, lifting the ribs. Now we're going to rotate. Take that left hand to the right thigh, twist at your navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder, then your gaze. Now, as you hold this pose, you can use your breath to almost deepen it a little bit. So every inhale, again, imagine you're lengthening up through center body, filling it. And every exhale, you're rotating a little deeper. As you release, you're exhaling. See if you can move a little deeper. Now, you might have a movement in your body. You might just have that sensation of movement. It doesn't matter, but feel like you're deepening the pose with your breath. Now we'll unwind. Same thing here. Now take the left hand behind, press in, grow the spine. Now imagine you're inhaling right up through center body, rib cage lifts, right hand to thigh. Exhale, navel, rib cage, chest and shoulder, then the gaze. So again, as you hold, imagine that you're growing that spine with every inhale, taking it a little bit longer. Every exhale, imagine you're twisting a little bit deeper. And return to center. Nice. Let's give the legs a shake. All right, so now we're going to work that diamond pose. So we're going to do it in 3 steps, or cobbler. It's going to end up being in cobbler pose right at the center. But diamond pose out a little bit further, right? Our feet are out kind of far. The soles of the feet are together. Knees are open a bit. So as best that you can do here. We're going to press into the sit bones again. Make yourself nice and tall. Breathing up through center body. Rib cage lifted, abs on. Then hinge. Start to hinge at your hip crease. Keep the spine long. Come down as far as you can just before the spine wants to round. And then you're going to soften your head. If you want to go a little bit further, a little bit more challenging, you can try to slide the hands out beyond the toes, reaching with the fingers, only if that feels okay in the back. So hold your best version of this pose, right? Find where your body wants to be and rest there. Notice that with our legs out further here, you're feeling this probably a little bit more in the low back, more in the outer hips. I always feel this one underneath and behind my knees. How's your breathing here? See if you can guide your breath to those tight spots. Now walk your hands back. Come on up. Shake the legs if you need to, and then we're going to step them in halfway. So now, soles of the feet together again. See if you can open your knees a little bit wider. Always know you can prop with blocks under the thighs. So if you're feeling sharp pain or tugging on the knees, pay attention to that. It shouldn't hurt. It's okay to feel that nice stretch, but nothing painful. So we're going to do the same thing here. Press in through the sit bones. Breathing up through center body. Rib cage lifts. Hinge at the hip crease. Lengthen down as far as you can go here. Soften your head. Decide if you want to try to slide those arms forward. You can go there as well. Breathe. Same thing here. Feeling it in a little bit of a different spot now, right? Getting a little closer to the inner thighs, but still catching a little bit of that low back and outer hips. Not quite as much as when they're further out, but a little bit there. So we're kind of accessing all those areas a bit. Breathing into the challenge. And walk those hands back. Shaking it out if you need to, and then stepping your feet all the way in. So as close as you can get those feet in together. So now we're going to try to press those knees wide, right? That rotation in the hip. So we're getting into the inner thighs here. Hip rotation. Same thing. Grow, lift, hinge. So this one's kind of nice because elbows sometimes end up right here inside those thighs. If that's the case for you and you feel like you can press into those elbows a little bit, feel free to do that to open the knees a little wider, only if that feels okay in your knees. Spine long, soften your head. Same thing here. If you like, you can slide those arms forward. Now let's walk the hands back. Nice. We're going to take a moment now. Keep your feet together. See if you can walk your hands back and come back down onto your back to reclined cobbler pose. Rest your right hand on your belly, left hand at heart. Breathe. Feel the breath moving beneath your right hand first. And watch as it travels up to the space beneath your left. Take a moment now. Let's roll to the right side. Fetal pose. Just for a moment, rest and reset. And then we'll press ourselves back up to our seat. So now we're going to work a little bit of core work here. So we're going to keep the feet flat to the floor. You want to create that V, right? So your thighs, upper body, right? So I have a nice V. I'm not rounded, not slouched, right? I've lifted. Chest is lifted. So here, we're going to reach out with the fingers. And then on your exhale, you're going to pull the belly in, roll back a little bit. Then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, navel to the spine, chin toward the chest, round. Lift and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. So continue to move a few more times, nice and controlled. Try not to lose control of the back here. Now the next time you roll back, let's hold it. Reach those fingers forward. Breathe under that contraction. Now lift forward, hold. This should feel almost as challenging as that rounding if you're staying nice and long and straight in the spine. And release. Let's plant the hands behind. Just lift your knees, shift side to side. Let's get rid of that tension because we have a few more challenges to have some fun with here. We always know how fun core can be, right? Working those abdominal muscles. Now the next one that we do is going to show you that the core isn't just your abdominal muscles. It's also your quads and also your hip flexors. So you're going to feel it in the front of your thighs, the front of your hips, and in your abdominals. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk the feet as close as we can to the body. So I'm making myself almost into a little ball. I'm going to kind of curl up here. Hold on. Now, if you can, I probably should stay to the side. I feel like you can see me better. I'm trying to give you all directions, but all right. So we have our toes just touching. See if you can lift those toes off the floor and find a balance here, a little ball. You might find it, you might not. It doesn't matter. Either way, you're still working those core muscles. Then we're going to see if we can just get a little micro rocking action, right? So notice I'm not going down too far. I'm trying to keep it very controlled. It's very small. If you can get any rocking action at all, great. If not, that's great too. All right, now rest it down. Now comes the best part of the challenge. We're going to cross the right leg all the way over the left. So try to make it a little higher than just the ankles, right? We don't want it too low. If you can get it a little more toward the shin, upper shin a little bit, we're going to come back into that ball and see if we can lift the feet. So now you know I'm using my arms here, right? I'm pulling my legs in with my arms. What I want us to do on the next exhale breath is release the arms and see, whoop, I almost lost it. See how close you can keep those legs to your chest. They're going to want to pop out, but you have to use those muscles to keep them held in. So if you haven't started already, start now for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Drop the feet, windshield wiper. So that's where you should notice those quads, hip flexors, and abs, right? Those are all your core muscles. And that's a great way to explore that and feel them work together. All right. So now we got to do the other side. Again, best you can. You might not get the toes off the floor. You know, the legs might spring away from you a little bit, but you're still working to keep them as close as you can. Just find your own personal edge here. So let's walk those toes in. Cross left ankle over, or left leg over right. Make your little ball here. See if you can lift the toes. Nice and tight. See, I'm in as tight of a ball as I can get into. Take a big inhale. On your exhale, release. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should want to let that go, right? Side to side. All right, let's cross those legs one more time. Lean back on your hands and just lift your chest. Open it all up. This should feel nice. And come forward. Walk your hands forward if you can. We're going to come forward. If you can keep the legs crossed, fine. If they have to unwind, that's fine too. We're just sinking the hips to the floor. So we do this all the time when we come forward in that child's pose, right? Sink those hips. Draw the shoulders back. Then we'll lower the legs, toes touch. Take a wide leg child's pose. Soften your head. Arms can be whatever position you want them to be in. Make yourself comfortable, wide leg child's pose. Now let's take a tabletop. Shifting to hands and knees. Spreading your fingers, point them all toward the front of the room. Grip the mat with your fingertips, knuckles at the base of the fingers, heels and palms of the hands. So right away we're active, right? We're using our own body weight to build strength. Pushing the floor away, shoulder blades pull apart a little bit. Press into your lower legs, tops of the toes. Get nice and active here. Tailbone back, crown forward. Let's move back in and out of cat-cow. So let's get some more movement to the spine, right? We did that already seated. Let's do it now, getting as much movement here as you can. Moving with your breath. Remember, the breath is the leader. not the movement. All right, come back to neutral spine. So what we're going to work here is a child's pose push-up. So the idea, we're trying to keep those elbows in. So what we want to do here is make a little diamond with your fingers. So your hands are going to be to the floor, index fingers and thumbs touching. And you're going to plant the hands to the floor. You're on your knees. On your exhale, we're going to press the sit bones back to child's pose, trying to keep those fingers touching. Stretch back. Soften the head. Then on your inhale, we're going to come forward. Chest is over, or those shoulders are stacked over the wrists. See if you can lower down. And push up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Work the push up. Bend the elbows. Lower the chest. Push the floor away. Exhale back. Nice. So just move with your breath. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale back. Continue. Move at your own pace. So it's a challenge, building strength in the arms here. Any amount you can lower down is great, even if it's a half an inch. All right, last one. This time when you're in child's pose, take your arms alongside the legs, soften your head. And now let's return to tabletop. So we're going to work our downward dog variation. So as always, my demonstration here, wrists beneath the shoulders. If you're going to stay in tabletop, if you don't want to go up into full down dog, remember, you're sending, my blocks there, send one heel back. So you're pressing into the ball of the foot and reaching that heel toward the back wall. Notice I am pushing into my hand. So I'm not just here like this. I'm pushing in and back. Switch. Lengthen that leg. Push into those hands and back. Alternate. All right. So tabletops, that's where you're going to be alternating, pushing into those legs. Downward dogs, if you want to join me. Take a little step back with your knees. Roll your toes under. Today, we're going to come up high on the tiptoes. Pressing the sit bones as high as you can. Feet hips width apart. Press into your hands, the whole hand, and press your sit bones high. Soft bend to the knee. Your heels are high. Then on your exhale, lower the heels. Both heels. Inhale, lift those heels as high as you can. Press your chest. Exhale, lower the heels. So I'll turn to the side here. So I'm high on my toes. Exhale, release. Inhale, high. Exhale, release. So it's a small movement. So you're either in tabletop, alternating legs, or you're working downward dog, pressing the heels to the sky, sit bones to the sky, and then releasing the heels to the floor, keeping that active upper body. All right, those of you in downward dog, next time the heels are lifted, hold. See if you can press your chest a little closer to those thighs. Then lower the heels, hold. Next inhale, we're all going to gaze forward from tabletop or downward dog, stepping up with one foot, then the other, and taking a ragdoll pose of choice. So remember here in Ragdoll, you can just hang. Knees are soft, so I'll turn to the side again as well. So I'm just sort of lengthening over those legs. Head is soft, I'm hanging. You can hold on to biceps and maybe sway side to side. Maybe you feel like you need to swing the arms or stir the soup pot. Maybe you want to nod the head. Yes, no. Get some tension out of the head and neck. Whatever you need here, take care of it. Some days I like to just hang still and just let the weight of my body just give me that passive stretch, right? I'm not really having to do any work. On your next exhale, keep the knees bent. And then slowly roll up the spine. Once you're upright, we'll take our mountain pose. Stack your joints. Make an effort to make sure that those feet are hips width, toes at 12 o'clock. So they're always pointed forward. Any little turn in the feet, inward, outward, it's going to change things up a little bit. So just make sure that you have that proper alignment right from the get-go. Stack your hips over the ankles. Knees are over the ankles, right? Shoulders. Hip points to low ribs. Crown to the sky. Take a moment here, close your eyes. Reconnect breath, body, and mind. All right, let's begin to move with our breath again. On your inhale, arms come high, reaching overhead, firm belly, firm thighs, firm hips, right? And lift the chest. On your next exhale, forward fold flow. Hinge. Long flat back. Inhale, rise all the way back up. So take your time here. Move with your breath. Every inhale, we're rising, initiating at the hip crease. Exhale, lowering, initiating at the hip crease. Nice. The next time we fold, we're going to hold it. Fold and hold, Uttanasana. Soften your knees. Rotate your thighs inward. Press your sit bones to the sky. And with every exhaled breath, imagine you can feel your spine lengthening, right? That's bringing the belly and the chest closer to the legs. Now this time, instead of coming up to a standing pose, we're going to come into a chair pose. So we're going to press the sit bones back. On the inhale, lift the arms, sit back. So you're in your chair pose. Utkatasana. Exhale, pull the belly in, press the sit bones high, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Inhale or exhale, Uttanasana. So it's a very small movement, just hinging forward and lifting, right? Working even here from the hip crease. Hinge, folding. Inhale, use your core to rise. Nice. Excellent. You guys look fantastic. Just moving as big as you can here, as best you can. Drawing that pelvic floor in and up, right? We're trying to create some strength in our foundation, that root. So if you can pull that pelvic floor in and up into the navel and lifting the gaze and chest, yes, you're going to build that strong foundation. We all know how important that is, right? We know that with our homes, you don't have a strong foundation, the house is only as strong as the foundation is. It goes the same way with our bodies. All right, now the next time you come up to chair, we're going to hold it. I know everybody loves this, right? Let's hold chair. Sit bones down and back. Remember, hands can always come to heart. So if you feel strain in your shoulders, bring them to heart. If you like to reach them alongside the ears, go ahead and do that. If you lift your gaze, your chest will lift a bit. Breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to inhale, rise all the way back up. Reach the arms high, and let's get some movement here. Arm swings forward and back. You can bend into the knees, get some movement, get the heart pumping a little bit. Feel the blood circulating to all the extremities, right? Horizontal. Opening up the chest. Beautiful. We'll get our cardio on here a little bit, right? Step your feet a little wider than hips width. Let's go into some torso rotations. Nice and loose with those arms. I always think if I let the arms hit my body, I'm hitting some sort of good pressure point. Something to make me feel better, right? All right, let's go into hip circles. Hands to hips, press back, around and forward. So you're trying to go as far to one side as you can, pressing back as far as you can, forward. Yeah, so we're just rotating, get into that range of motion in your hips. Then the other way. All right, let's just get into the hips a little bit more. Just make sure your blocks are out of the way so you don't stumble. We're going to take the right hip, open it out to the side, bring it down. Bend the lip, up and around. Big circles. You can get that movement going as fast as you like, as wide as you like. All right, now let's reverse the direction. Forward. Almost like you're taking big, giant steps, right? How about one more each side? Hands to heart. Heart's pumping a little bit of cardio going on, doing good? Yeah? All right. Hands to heart. We'll keep it going because we'll move through our Sun A. One movement, one breath. So we'll kind of keep that heart rate elevated a little bit. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, lower. Step back, right foot, then left to plank. On your exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, take a baby cobra. Hover those hands, drag those elbows back. Exhale, lower down. Take a child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. On your inhale, gaze forward. Step up right foot, then left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Let's go again. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left foot, then right. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Step up left, then right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Let's go into our sun B. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Moving with your breath. Remember, breath leads. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. Hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, fold. Step back with your right foot. This time we're going to drop down to that right knee. So we're stacking the left knee over the ankle. Bring your hands to your thigh. Tuck your tailbone. Sink your hips. Raise the arms. So we're growing the spine out of the pelvis, getting into that hip flexor. We've worked it a lot today already. Exhale, lower. Step back to plank. Exhale, rock forward, lower down. This time you can choose your cobra, stay with baby, or maybe you want to come up a little higher, you choose. Exhale, lower down. Child's pose to tabletop or plank to down dog. On your inhale, we're going to take a 3-legged table or dog, lifting the right leg. Bend the knee. Stack your hip. Inhale, realign your hips. Hold for the exhale. And on your inhale, step that right foot up. Let's drop down to the left knee. Tuck your tailbone. Sink your hips. Rise. Exhale, plant your hands. Roll your back toes under. We're going to prepare to push off on the inhale breath. Get ready. Push and step up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Beautiful. Left side, here we go. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, chair. You're going to love me. Exhale, fold. Didn't even hold it. Inhale, step back, left foot. Come down to the left knee. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Move with your breath. Exhale, rotate and come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Child's pose to tabletop on that exhale or plank to down dog on the exhale. Inhale, that left leg goes high, so 3-legged table or dog. Bend your knee, stack your hip. Next, inhale, realign the hips. Hold for the exhale. And on your inhale breath, step that left foot up. Come down to the right knee. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, lower. Roll the toes under. And we're going to push off. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Very nice. Give yourself a moment here. Take care of yourself. Return back to your breath, your body, your mind, giving it a scan, noticing any changes from the last time you scanned your body, right? We did that when we first started. Do you feel any differently? Just checking in with these things. All right, blink your eyes open. So now we're going to work some balance. We're going to do tree pose, but then the second time we're going to do a variation. So you can, the second time we go through it, you can stay with tree, or you can see if you want to join me for the variation. Now the variation might seem challenging, but when you do it, sometimes when you try it, it's like, it's not as challenging as it looks. Like when you see it, it might be like, oh, I don't think I can do that. But you might find that your muscles can go into certain positions a little bit easier, and it might actually be easier than tree pose. So I always kind of recommend that people try it, and then if it doesn't work, then come back to tree, because you might be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so first time though, tree. So we're going to take the weight into the right foot, rotate left knee outward. So we're not really rotating the knee, right? It's that hip that's taking the knee outward. Heel is above the ankle bone. Pull that right hip in and up. Kickstand with your feet, so you're lifting, lowering. See how it feels. It's like, you know what? I'm pretty steady here. Or you might be really unsteady, and it's like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on that kickstand, just lifting and holding a couple seconds and putting it down. You choose. So if you lift and you're like, okay, I'm cool to go into tree pose, plant your foot at the calf, the thigh. When you make that connection, press them into one another. Create your trunk. When you do that, when you squeeze them into one another, you're making a nice solid trunk. Grow your spine. Place your hands wherever they want to go. So remember, in tree pose, branches don't always grow up, right? They're out to the side sometime. So if that's better for you, branches grow in all directions. Where does it work for you? Remember to find your drishti, your focal point, and stay with your breath. We're breathing. Our main focus is the breath. So if you stumble out, go back in. If you're really steady and the leg starts to fatigue, come out, shake it out, and go back in. And release. Come on out. Let's take some hip circles. All right, so we're moving on to the next side. It might be your better side. It might be your worse side. Be prepared. It'll be one or the other, because typically the sides are different. So now the weight's in the left leg. We're rotating the right knee outward. Pulling the left hip away from the wall. Check in with the kickstand. Is that where you want to be? Or can you plant the foot? Make your trunk. So create that resistance. Find your breath. And release. Beautiful. Some hip circles. Or if you like knee lifts, whatever seems to serve you better, go ahead and take that. All right, now I promised you a variation. Keep in mind, give it a try, and if it's like, no way, just go back to tree pose, all right? So, weight's gonna go into the right leg. I'm gonna come into my tree, and then I'm gonna see if I can grab a hold of my foot and cross it over the top of the knee, right? So it's gonna be like a pigeon pose. Maybe you can get the balance here. If this is enough, great, stay here or come back to your tree. Remember, you have options. You can stand against the wall. You can bring a hand to the wall. All right, my next variation is to send my sit bones back. So I'm coming into a seated pose. So that's going to take more balance. Again, it might be nice if you want the wall behind you, bringing your butt to the wall, or maybe you can find the balance. You decide. So you're either in tree pose, you're working on getting that ankle to cross over the top of the knee, not against it. If it's against the knee, you want to do the tree pose. Or if you're in that variation with the ankle crossed, you can try sending your sit bones back to grab that seated pose. Give it a try. Have some fun. Looks good. You can always have a chair for balance, the wall for balance. All right, let's make this our last breath. Now, if you are in that seated pose, let's see if we can rise up gracefully and drop the foot. Shake it out, whatever you need here. So how'd we do? Thumbs up on the seated pose or thumbs down? Maybe this, right? All right. It doesn't matter, right? We're just going in, just having some fun with it. Your practice can be fun, trying things. It's not totally serious. Give it a shot. All right. So now, weights in the right foot. Rotating that left knee. Now you're going to decide, am I going to give it a shot? Let's see if I can grab the foot, maybe place that ankle over the knee. Maybe I'm there. Maybe I'm going back to tree pose. Doesn't matter. If you like, you can press those sit bones back. Press the butt to the wall. If you have the wall behind you, that'll give you some stability. Chest lifted, nice. So I'm not going to move too much here. I'm just going to kind of sit off to the side in case you guys are watching, and I'm not going to be distracting your focal point here. Nice. Nice. I see a lot of people getting into it. Excellent. But are you breathing? All right, let's see if we can come out gracefully. Rise up and lower. Beautiful. Nice. That deserves an applause. All right, take care of those hips. All right, so we're going to take our two blocks, place them to the right edge, long edge of the mat, one at the top, one at the bottom. I'm going to turn sideways momentarily just so you can see me as we go through the poses that we're going to do. Standing. Whoops, sorry. I don't even know why I have a home phone. Okay, so we're going to start wide edge of the mat, the right edge. So you can stay facing your mat the long way. Toes pointed out, big star pose. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, send the sit bones back, come into horse. Inhale, stretch up, star. Exhale, horse. Inhale, star. So move through it, paying attention to the knees here, keeping the chest lifted, directing those knees over the toes. So that's what's crucial here. right? As the knee is always going in the same direction as the toes. That's where you're going to avoid knee injury. If you have them kind of turned inward, or, you can strain the knee. So that might mean you need the feet a little closer together. Maybe you don't want to come down quite as far, so modify as needed. Next time we come down to horse, we're going to hold our horses. Lift the chest. Breathe. And stretch up to star. Nice. Now we're going to take a warrior two to the back of the room. So right toes turn out, wedge the left. Bend into your right knee. Stacking the knee over the ankle. Heel and arch lined up, arms shoulder height. So find your warrior two. Remember, you can make it nice and strong. The more you press down and forward into the front foot, and the more you press into the outer edge of your back foot, the more strength you're building. So if you look at that back foot, the arch should be lifted, right? You're pressing into it that much that the arch is lifted. Beautiful. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to straighten the right leg, and we're going to work triangle. So on your exhale, we're going to reach to try to touch that back wall. Hinge at the hip, lengthen the spine, and then come back. Exhale, reach. Inhale, come back. Exhale, reach. Inhale, come back. Last one, we're going to exhale, reach. Now here's where I want you to lower. You're going to kind of windmill the arms so that that right hand is inside the leg, left arm to the sky. But let's take that left hand, grab a hold of your left rib cage, and see if you can rotate it open. Then send that arm high. That's your triangle pose. Hang out there. See if you can find that triangle. Right? Looking good. Pressing that back hip back, right hip forward. Crown forward. All right, so now this is where we're going to get a little tricky. We're going to bring the hand down. The left foot is going to bump up and out a little bit. So now we have railroad track spacing. Feet are a little closer together. My back toes are pointing to 10 o'clock. Now, we're going to hinge, and you can use your block here if you like. This is where you can grab the block, place it in front of the foot. You can have your hands on the leg. You can use both blocks, hands on both blocks. But what I want us to pay attention to here is the hip. That right leg bone is pulling in and up into the hip socket. And that left hip is kind of spiraling down and inward. So I'm not out like this. I have my hips square. Plant the hands. Again, they can be on the hips, the leg, the block out in front. Long spine. Find your edge here for Konasana. Beautiful. Now I'm going to challenge you for a revolved triangle. So I want you to bring your hands to your hips. Come up about 45 degrees. So notice how I'm up a little higher here. You're going to go in the direction you don't feel like you should. So my left hand is going to rotate around, come to the outside of my right thigh. Lengthen the spine, and then rotate navel upward. So this might be enough. You can stay up here. Maybe you want to take the arm high. Maybe you feel like, you know what, I can come down further. So you might want to bring that left hand to the block inside the foot, or maybe outside of that foot. Rotate and roll the arms. So the main thing is getting length in the spine, right? Breathing up through center body. So you're going opposite direction for where you should. Your hand should be across your body to that front leg, not the back leg. Yep, there we go. Yep, you fixed it. Breathe. All right. Bring the hands back to the hips. We're going to rise up. And let's pivot back to the long edge of the mat. So I'm just going to demonstrate quickly when you're in that triangle. So Revolved Triangle is this. It's not this. It's this. So see how I'm crossed over? Arm high. So it's going in the way you really don't feel like you should be going. All right. So now we're back at center. Let's take our horse pose again. Come into that squat. Now you can stay here, or if you're down low enough and you can grab your block, grab the block, reach it forward and see if you can reach forward into that block. So I'm pressing the sit bones back, but reaching out. Now, if that's not there for you, just stay in horse pose, right? We don't have to do every variation of every pose. Nice. All right, let's bring the hands back to the hips. Press up and stand. Nice. So now we got to do that series of poses to the other side. So left toes turn out, you're toward the front of the room. Wedge the right, warrior two. Yeah, so make it active. Nice strong warrior twos here. All right, now let's work that triangle. Straighten the left leg. On your exhale, reach to that wall in front of you and come back. Exhale, reach. So why am I doing this? Well, because I want to try to get some length on the underside of my body. Because a lot of times you can come in and you're like this. See how I'm crunched? But in triangle, you want space on the underside as much as the top. So it's a space between all areas. All right, last one. We're going to reach, windmill, rest that hand inside the leg, right hand to right rib, rotate it open. Now reach up to the sky. So you're trying to find space between the feet, space from crown or tailbone to crown, and space between the arms. Now, if it bothers the shoulder, you can always bring that down to your hip. Nice. All right, now let's bring that top arm down. We're going to pivot to face the top edge of the mat. So this back foot is bumping out and closer, right? So now I'm not quite as far. Feet aren't quite as far apart. I'm going to hinge at the hip crease, long flat back. So stop halfway, pull that left leg bone into the hip socket, press that right hip down and in. So see, I'm not like this, I'm like this. Then decide if you can hinge deeper, bringing the hands to the leg, the block, both blocks, you decide. Lengthen over that front leg. Keep that energy, that dragging back of the front leg, pressing forward with the opposite hip. Nice. Soften your head, lengthen your spine. How's your breathing, right? That's our main focus today. Well, it should always be the main focus, but we're just building that awareness. All right, revolve triangle, ready? Hands to hips, lift up about halfway, so about a 45-degree angle. Grow the spine, so long spine. Let's take that right hand, cross it all the way over to the left thigh. Left hand low back, and then rotate to the left. Then you can decide, can I come down further? Can I reach the arm to the ceiling? See how we're doing here. Yes. So remember, if that left leg is in front, it's the right arm that's on the left thigh. All the way around. Yep, there you go. You got it. All right. Let's return to center, unwind, lower those hands, bend the knee, and come down to the floor to child's pose. Let's rise up. Grab your blocks. Place them alongside your hips. Legs are going to come out in front. We're going to take a staff pose. So resting your hands, grow your spine. Pull the toes back, and let's take the arms overhead. Hold for 5, 4, breathe, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to drop the hands on these blocks. Cross your legs. If you can do it with straight legs too. But what we're going to try to do here is hinge forward from the hip crease. Elbows are bent, so I'm going to turn sideways. Elbows are bent. And then on the exhale, I'm going to pull my sit bones up. Push into those hands. And release. So sit bones might not come off the floor. That's okay. You're still drawing that core in and up. You're pushing into the arms for strength. So keep that in mind. Keep the blocks nearby. On your exhale, we're going to roll down the spine. Hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. All right, so let's take a supported inverted action pose with the block under the sacrum. Legs are going to go to the ceiling. Then very slowly, let's open the legs wide. Try not to let the back pull away from the block. That's going to be there to support you. So just let those legs sort of fall open. Take those legs back up toward the ceiling. Lower the legs down. Slide the block out, but you're going to lift up a little bit so that you can place the block right in between your shoulder blades. So you're going to lay it on the back, and you might have to come back a couple of times just to make sure that the block is between the shoulder blades. And you can let your head hang off of the block here. So taking a variation of fish pose. So we're lifted through the chest. You can bring the head to a blanket or another block, or if you're okay with it coming right down to the floor to really open the front of the throat, you can go there. Now very slowly you can roll off of the block and just move it out of the way. Bend the knees, arms come wide, let the knees drop to the right, head to the left. Return to center, knees drop left, gaze to the right. Return to center. You can take Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together, knees wide. You can drop the blocks right under your thighs, or you can come into Shavasana with the legs long, arms at the sides. So just find your comfortable relaxation pose. We'll just do a brief relaxation before ending our practice. So take a moment to make adjustments to your pose, whichever one you choose. You might want to throw the legs over a chair, up the wall. You decide. Just give yourself a moment to settle in. Feel the weight of your body as it releases into the mat, noticing those shadows and spaces beneath you. Notice your presence in this space by becoming aware of the touch of air on your skin. As your body stills, you become aware of the flow of your breath. And with time, that breath becomes deeper, more even, and smooth. Carry it to the crown of your head and rest there. Breathe in relaxation. Breathe out tension. Carry that breath downward through the muscles of your face, your neck. Release outward across your shoulders, down your arms to fingertips. Soften the torso first by breathing into the upper chest and releasing downward to the abdomen. And from your upper back, down the length of your spine to your tailbone. Continue downward, releasing across your hips. Feel the leg bones become heavy as the leg muscles soften. Relax your ankles, feet, and toes. Allow your whole body to relax from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. And as you rest here now, we're going to return to the breath, counting breath. Next, inhale, a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to your natural breathing. Take a moment now to bring some movement to your fingers, your toes, your head and neck. Then gently rub the palms of your hands together. Place the warmed hands over your eyes. Open your eyes to the warmth and energy of your own hands. Slowly draw your hands down. Let in the light of day. Take a moment Massage your temples, your forehead, or maybe you'd prefer to open up to a stretch or hug your knees in, whatever feels right. And then finally, before returning to your seat, take a moment to roll to the right side of your body. Allow the weight of your body, the weight of your thoughts, the weight of your day, let it all melt away from your heart and let your heart feel light. Then finally, when you feel ready to return to your seat, rise slowly and carefully, taking a moment for gratitude, being grateful to your wonderful bodies for moving you through these poses, for bringing you to your mat, excuse me, and for allowing you a moment of stillness and centering. A moment to acknowledge each of us in this space today. And together, we say namaste. Thank you. Have a great day.